So here we are on this disgusting Saturday. I want to say today is June the 5th. No, it's the 6th. I'm running a little bit later than I'd like because we had a completely impromptu power outage. So that was entertaining. Got up, it was like 7:30 and there's no power. So I'm gonna have to correct a lot of things that broke when I get back. But for the time being, we are going to go to the KARG annual Hamfest. I think usually it's in March, but this year it is in June. Usually? They've only had one before. Can you tell that I'm tired? So this could be fun. I'm hoping it's not going to be a bust because it's raining out. So, like I said, I'm running a little bit later than I'd like, but it doesn't start until 9, and it only takes about 35-40 minutes to get there. So I'm not particularly worried. Last time I went, I took a wrong turn, so I'm going to try and budget some extra time just in case. Also, the parking situation, who knows. There won't be a big mound of snow in their parking lot this time, so there should be more parking, but, you know, like I said, you never know. So, I think it's time to go ahead and get started and stop wasting time. I think every time I forget that my freaking radio is on, and yes, I know the key battery is low, I'll have to replace it at some point. We're definitely in the right place. There's a lot of ham antennas around. We're early by about 9 minutes for once. So let's go and get our cool-ish. got my stuff. We've got a haul here of things. But I think I'm done. I want to get out of here before the weather just completely turns to crap. I also don't really want to spend any more money. I didn't spend very much, but, you know, money's tight in this economy, so let's get going. And of course the radio's on. So what time is it? 10:15, so I've been here about an hour and 15 minutes. Okay, we're back. Hopefully these will last long enough to actually record this part of the video because they died earlier. But I've had some time to get all this stuff figured out and everything is in place. It's sitting all over here. So, not a huge amount of stuff, but there really was. I was surprised at the amount of computer junk that was actually there. There was a guy I did a lot of business with. Could have done a whole lot more if I wanted to fill my living room with iMacs. Although I have that one there that I have nothing that I'm doing with. So I don't really need to do that. Anyway, let me go get a camcorder and we'll take a look at all this stuff. Okay, first things first, let's turn this off. So that way you actually might stand a chance of hearing me without wind noise all over the video. Like I said, I was surprised at the amount of computer junk that was there. I could have bought a whole lot more for not a whole lot much more money, to be honest. I did a lot of business with one particular guy. Like more than half. Anyway, so the first thing here with power adapter, which I was told doesn't work, which is fine because none of these work, is a Macintosh PowerBook 140. Power's on. Screen needs recap. Again, that's pretty typical for these. The good news, I didn't even think to look for it when it was there, but it does not look like this has any signs of vinegar syndrome. I mean, maybe. It's kind of hard to tell, but I think it's probably okay. It's missing all the screws. That's really the problem with this, but the guy gave me his email address, and if I care enough, I probably will send him an email just to get all the screws, but this is probably just going to end up being a parts machine anyway. Yeah, so two things. Number one is it's complete. It's got extra RAM. It's got all the cards, floppy drive is here. It's even got the hard drive, although it's probably bad if I had to guess. It's one of these corner 40 megabyte jobs. Some of these work, but I've not had very good luck with them, so I'm willing to bet it's probably junk. I'm taking a look at the board. It looks like it's in good shape, but there really aren't very many capacitors on the system boards on these. I think there's one under here, and that's the only one that it's got. Most of the caps are going to be in the screen and the inverter and all those things. So, but the other thing is there's no battery. That was the other concern that I had with this, was whether or not it had the battery, and I wasn't going to take it apart in front of them, especially because the place was very busy. Same guy, little Radio Shack programmable calculator for one money, $5. Has a good battery and everything. I'll have to learn how that works because it's a little bit more in-depth than the one that I used to have. In fact, I might even still have it somewhere. I'll have to go looking for it. But I figured for $5, why not? Also $5, although it was listed at 10. The guy basically said I'll take 5 for it before I even said anything. It's another Smart UPS 700. This is the beige version. I have the black version sitting over there that I just put new batteries in. So, nice to have as a spare. I'm hoping, I'm willing to bet that it does not have any batteries in it. Okay, so good news on both fronts. Cabling is all there. This is the piece that I was worried about. And there's no dead batteries that have blown it up so bad I'm going to have to invest in some kind of advanced engineering degree in order to get this apart. So that's good to go. So I'm going to put that back together now, and then we can move on. So that should be nice. Even though it is only a 700, it is a smart UPS. I can find some uses for stuff like that. Probably put it in the other room and use it on the computer in there. These, they're both the same. They're FT208R Yaesu HTs, handheld transceivers, VHF. The only reason why I cared, even in the slightest, that one doesn't have one, but this one does. I have the battery pack for this, so that should be good and rebuildable, which would be nice. I mean, it might even be usable as is. I kind of doubt it, just based on the look of it, but who knows. Do not mutilate. Well, it's going to get torn apart. But these, the actual receivers themselves are probably just going to, transceivers, sorry, because they do both. They'll probably just end up getting forwarded on to somebody else. I just put the wrong one on there. Because, I mean, really, I only need one. I don't need two. That's kind of ridiculous. I might keep the broken one around. Or the bad one. Oh, this is annoying. Having the belt clip on there just is... Anyway. This one was probably used in like a car or something. It's got Velcro on it. And it's in very bad shape. So it would almost be worthwhile to just part both of them out. And, you know, deal with it that way. But either way, I'll have those. $5 for that. All I really wanted was the battery, but anyway. What else we got? I don't know what that is. Oh, let's see. Works for $10. Philco automatic frequency control little radio. I believe it will do all of the bands, which is nice. I didn't even notice that it was an AM/FM unit. I just happened to see the Philco badge and $10 and thought, hey, that's actually not that bad of a deal. The only problem is probably that it takes a stupid battery. I'm willing to put that bet. Well, no. It's a DC set, but it does look like it takes normal batteries, so that's nice. Yeah, size C batteries, 6 of them. So that's good. No stupid AB setups, but this probably isn't a tube set. Could have looked that up. I might look that up later and be quite surprised to find that it is, but this has got to be a very late model Philco. It doesn't say Philco Ford on it, so maybe it's not that late model. Someone will no doubt correct me in the comments. Well, it seems like it probably works just fine. Or at least it would if I'd put batteries in it. So a nice little radio to play with. This, I don't know why I picked this up. This falls under the category of indefensible purchases made at a Hamfest. Like I said, there's a lot of computer stuff. I'm surprised this didn't sell very early on. But it's not exactly new or anything like that. Wanted 20, accepted 15. I think I offered 10 and accepted 15 on that. I think that one's how that worked. If not, that's how that one was. But either way, this, if I bring it a little bit closer, is missing one of the rubber feet, so I'm going to have to deal with that. But cheapo case, probably a thermal take, if I had to guess, if not completely generic. The motherboard that's in there is an Asus board, to no one's shock, I'm sure. It is a... well, I can't read it because the camcorders decided to put a message over top of my thing. Looks like an M2N MX SE Plus. It's running. For some reason it's got an extra Ethernet adapter in it, but I suppose that's okay. And it's got a other expansion card. I think that's a FireWire and USB expansion board. Yeah, that's both FireWire and USB, so kind of nice to have. The computer itself works. Does it have a hard drive in it, or was he just running it off of a CD? I think he was just running it off of a CD, or not a CD, but a USB stick. Because it doesn't have an optical drive in it. Unless it's got a drive somewhere that I'm not aware of. No, it does have a serial ATA connection going to it. I kind of want to know now, does this have a drive in it? I think it does. You know what? I think I'm telling you wrong. I think this does have a drive in it. No, it can't have a drive in it. Because there's the two serial ATA connections. So I think he was just running it off of USB, which is fine. That's definitely thermal take. That's an aftermarket cooler. The RAM is probably something special. It's got heat sinks on it. I'm surprised to see solid capacitors in the voltage regulator for the CPU. Is this a Dynex power supply? No, it's even worse. 450 watts. With that wiring? Huh. Well, anyway. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. One more thing to get to. Last but not least, Mac Mini. Listed at $20. I paid $15. Which is probably a bit much, because I know I've got a couple of these already, but this is different because this one is actually the PowerPC version. Not the Stealth Refresh or anything like that. It's just a 1.25 gigahertz G4. Maybe it is the Stealth Refresh, I'm not sure. I thought the Stealth Refresh of these was 1.5. I'll have to look into that. But, yeah, it's a little beat up, but hey, for $15, why not? I've wanted one of the PowerPC versions of these just to say that I have it. So that's kind of nice to have. Just have to see if I can fix the cover on this. Looks like the rubber is also kind of coming off of the bottom, but should be interesting to play around with. And that is going to do it for the Hamfest video from today. I'm in this for about $75, including the $5 admission fee. 70, well actually probably 75, so I'm in it for 80 bucks, but you know, same basic idea. It's not that much, it's less than $100. So that's definitely cool, and I'll probably make that back on this video anyway, but who knows what's really going to happen, so stay tuned. There'll definitely probably be videos of at least some of this stuff at some point. But for now, that is it for the video. Thank you for watching, and if you have any comments, feel free to leave them below. Bye.